Hello guys, you're watching German Gyan. My name is Nidhi Jain. Guys, if you are a beginner, then this gonna be the master key for you. Yes, you heard it correct. In this video, we're gonna cover A1 roadmap. From zero to passing the exam, having the certificate, and you are getting a job. So this is gonna be the A1 roadmap for beginners from proper expert teams. So yes, if you're watching me for the very first time, then my name is Nidhi Jain. I'm a CEO and the founder of German Gyan. German Gyan provides you online and offline classes. We do provide teacher training program, exam preparation, brush up classes, interview preparation, and whatnot. So why to waste time? Enroll with German Gyan and let's get in this video.
A1 German Complete Roadmap from zero to exam clear. The first question is that what exactly is A1 level? So A1 is the first level of Common European Framework, and at A1 you should be able to introduce yourself, ask and answer simple questions, talk about families, hobbies, jobs. Then you should be able to understand slow and clear speech and write short informal messages. So this is all about A1 level. The next question is that how long does it take to complete A1 in India? So let's be realistic. If you study 1 hour daily, then it is going to take 3 to 4 months. If you study 2 hours daily, then it is going to take 2 to 3 months. And some intensive batches which are 5 days per week, or they take 6 to 8 weeks. But remember, consistency matters more than the speed. Now let's see the actual roadmap step by step, and we are going to divide this preparation into 4 clear phases. The first phase is where we are going to use first 2 weeks of the month, and this will be our foundation week. So for phase 1, our goal will be pronunciations and basic. That means first you are going to master alphabets and pronunciations. You are going to learn the sounds of A umlaut, O umlaut, U umlaut, and the sound of S set. Then you have to focus on the sound of CH. And the question why it is important, because wrong pronunciations becomes permanent later. That's why I start focusing on the pronunciations from day 1 only. Then the second step is you have to learn basic vocabulary. For example, greetings, countries, their languages, then numbers from 1 to 100. You can start learning days, months, and family members. Step 3 is learn most 2 important verbs, which are sein and haben. So you basically have to learn the conjugation of these 2 verbs and practice at least 20 to 30 sentences every day on some new verbs. Next is phase 2, where we are going to use 3rd, 4th and the 5th week. This week we'll be practicing core grammar and the sentence structures. In phase 2, the goal is to build correct sentences. Step 1 is you have to learn articles, because without articles you cannot frame a sentence into German language. That means you have to focus on bestimmt article and unbestimmt article. For that you have to learn gender system and the plural forms of all the nouns. And do not memorize randomly. Learn this with vocabulary. Step 2 is sentence structure. That means you now have to start learn the sentence structure. And the basic rule of German language is that verb always comes at the second place. You can just simply change subject and object, but the verb always has to be at the second place if you are framing a statement. Then step 3, German cases. In German language we have 3 cases, that is nominative, accusative and dative. You have to understand these cases first. After that only you can start practicing the sentence structure. Then 4th step, you have to start learning modal verbs, prepositions and imperative. So in A1 level, where we discuss only about present tense, in that we take or learn 7 modal verbs. Then in prepositions we have accusative, dative and vexel preposition, and with imperative we use imperative with do, ear and z. For phase 3, the goal is to have real communications. That means now you should start focusing on topics such as daily routine, hobbies, shoppings, food, appointment booking and invitation. For this, what you can do, start writing 5 to 6 sentences per topic, then speak it loud and record yourself. Phase 4, which is the 8th week, and this will be our exam focused preparation. Now, if you have started preparing for the exam, remember you have to focus on all the 4 modules, that is Lesen, Hören, Schreiben and Sprechen. For Lesen, start reading text on the daily basis, and remember you don't have to translate each and every word. Just focus on the keywords, because in the exam there are chances that you might not understand the complete paragraph or the complete line. So instead of translating everything word to word, just focus on the keywords, try to grab the answer. Then for Hören, start practicing short dialogues, then train your ears for numbers, dates, and prizes. And the most important thing, you have to do listening on the daily basis for at least 20 minutes. Or the another thing which you can do is, on YouTube there are many videos available according to Goethe pattern. If you are writing the Goethe exam, you can definitely watch those videos. They are going to be very helpful. For Schreiben in A1 level, you usually get a formal or the informal email. You basically have to write that email. So you can start practicing those short emails, and apart from that, just start practicing how you can reply to the invitation. And for that email writing, remember you have to follow a structure. That means you have to write the Anrede or the salutation, then the body of the email, and then the closing line and the closing greeting. And remember, just keep it very simple so that you won't make much mistakes. But the idea is to practice a short email on the daily basis. Then for Sprechen, in A1 level there is 7-liner introduction which you have to speak. So just practice that structure. Then second tile is where you ask question to your partner, so start practicing that. And for the third tile, you make request for something. So these are the 3 tiles which comes for the expression part. Talking about A1 exam in India. In India, the exam is conducted by Goethe Institute. There are other exams as well, for example, TELC or OST, but we are focusing on Goethe over here. The major centers for Goethe exam are Goethe Institute New Delhi, Goethe Institute Mumbai, and Goethe Institute Chennai. You also have Goethe Institute Pune as well. Talking about exam fees of A1 level and booking tips. So fees may change yearly, that means you have to always check for the fees. And for booking exam, remember you have to book the exam at least 1 month early. Keep your passports ready and reach exam center 30 minutes early. And remember, you have to carry your original passport and not the photocopy. Common mistakes which students make. The first one is memorizing full essays. Instead of memorizing full essays, focus on the concepts and the sentence structure. Second is ignoring listening practice. Remember students, our ears are not trained to understand or to listen German. That is why it is very important for all of us to start listening or start doing listening practice. Third one is studying only grammar. If you think that by learning grammar you are going to pass the exam, then it's wrong, because you should have the proper understanding of text as well. Fourth, not practicing speaking. Again, if you are focusing only on reading, writing and listening and not focusing on speaking, then again you are going to lose the marks. And the last one, no mock test. Remember, mock tests are very important because this actually gives you the idea of how your exam is going to be. So once you complete with all the syllabus, start practicing mock tests. The ideal daily study plan which you can follow if you are ready to study at least 2 hours per day. So you can give 30 minutes to vocabulary, 30 minutes to grammar, 30 minutes to listening, then 20 minutes to writing and 10 minutes to speaking.
Guys, I hope now you are having a master key to get the certificate of A1. Proper A1 roadmap is here. I hope you loved it. Thank you so much for showering lots of love. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, keep learning German with German Gyan. Take care. Cheers.